on with the Dark Prophet. So today, the topic of our conversation. First of all, if you have not seen my video before, this is your first time. I'm a psychologist, I'm a therapist, and I'm a writer. And what I try to do through these my videos is to try and address some of the challenges that we face in Nigeria and maybe even in Africa or in the world, and just give you a few tips on how to handle it, and also open your mind so you can think more about these issues, think clearly about these issues without being clouded by bias. So after that, so today, what I'm going to talk about, the title of what I'm going to talk about is Real Men. That's the title, Real Men. So how did this come about? You see, I was watching a video on Rock TV. Like today, I was kind of bored, so I watched like 4 videos straight. I went on binge mode. So and the first video, the guy he really was assaulted the woman. The male character assaulted the female character, like in the movie. The second one, the same thing. The male character beat up the woman in the movie. The third one, the same thing. The fourth one, the man didn't only beat up the woman in the movie, he actually killed the woman in the movie. And then the fifth one, I actually watched another one, there are 5. And the fifth one I watched, the man didn't beat the woman, but he actually emotionally abused the woman all throughout the movie. And at the end, he begged for apology, and the lady forgave him. And so, happy ending. So I want to talk about Real Men, that's the title. You see, and when I'm talking about this, I want you to ask yourself is what are the qualities that a man should have to be considered a real man? I'm not asking ladies about what a real man is. I'm actually asking men, what do they think a real man should be? And there's a reason for that. If a few days ago I was watching a clip on YouTube, right? And then the lady, I think she's from South Africa, she was talking about how the West, people in the West, that how they package us in Africa, how they package us in Nigeria, Jamaica, Ghana, how they package us. And what she was talking about is that they only send us a certain kind of information. They only send us a certain kind of images, movies, and depictions to Africa. They send us images that make us act a certain way, make us think a certain way, and also those images guide our aspirations and to an extent even help cause our problems. And then I was thinking about that. I'm like, could she be right? Could she be wrong? Then I watched a clip about TikTok about how when you're in China, they tend to only show you images of people doing well in school, people graduating with excellent grades. But if you're in America, what they usually show you are images of maybe people shaking their ass, people doing all sort of rubbish. That's what they really show you. So I began to think about that concept. Could it be that the images and what we're exposed to, that the West push on us through our social media and TV and radios, could it shape us to be a certain way? And that's a very interesting question. And so, when you look at this issue of real men, what is a real man to you? Especially if you're a man, what does it mean to be a real man? You see, I'm kind of envious of women sometimes because a mother usually sits with their daughter and try and teach her how to be a good wife, how to cook, how to clean, usually. But for men don't get taught how to be a real man because that is not around. That is usually trying to make money. That is trying to make money, and because of that, he will not always be there. So you miss him, and whenever he's there, you may realize that he may be having issues with you. Trying to discipline you, and before you know it, you feel like maybe this man doesn't like me, or you feel like, oh, this man should just go, let him go. He becomes like a monster that you are happy when he's gone, and then when he's back, you're like, oh man, I can't wait for him to go. So the question is now okay, why then, since in Africa, in Nigeria, Ghana, there is a severe assault on manhood, especially the African man. There's a severe assault on him, not only assault, but also there's a misconception of what a man should look like. Misconception is just a wrong idea of what a man should look like. Don't mind the big grammar, it's a wrong idea of what the man should look like. So there's a severe misconception on this, and this is the reason why a lot of young boys, young African boys are messing up. That's why a lot of them are doing terrible things. A lot of them are misguided. That's because because there is this problem, severe assault, but most of us don't know, and those that know probably don't care. You are trying to make your money, trying to stack your paper to get a house and marry and do all this kind of cultural things that you need to do as a man, that you don't pay attention to the whole what is going on in Africa, or what is going on in the larger picture. You see, the reason why a lot of young men are messing up today, I'll tell you why. The reason why they're messing up today is because they don't have good role models. They are constantly exposed to toxic image of what it means to be